Section 71B, which provides that INEC, after 10 years at least, must review the constituencies, as it were. And from 1999 to date is beyond 10 years. And INEC has not complied with that constitutional provision. So this motion is a way of calling INEC to be up with their responsibility and, as a matter of urgency, comply with the provision of the Constitution, which demands that after 10 years, that INEC, as a matter of importance, must and be able to ascertain whether there is
Chairman,
need.
Foreign Affairs, please,
For
can you
instance, your
approach
federal
the
constituency, if the local constituency has grown beyond what it is, there should be 2 instead of 1. It's a provision in the Constitution.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it.
That INEC must review the constituencies, whether state or federal. And since 1999, INEC has failed to comply with that provision. And that informed why we brought it on the floor of the House, urging INEC as a matter of urgency to comply with the provision of Section 73, subsection 1. If you notice, there are many constituencies, apart from those of us that are here, there are other colleagues of ours, whether in other parties or ruling party or opposition, that in some instances, they have 4 local governments. Take, for instance, like my own. I have 4 local governments that make up my federal constituency with 42 wards. There are other ones who have 2 local governments, but they also have 42, up to 42 wards. Abiante is here, many of us. And in some instances too, there are House of Assembly constituencies that INEC has failed to comply with the provision. So that informed why, in order to make it a collective issue, we brought it on the floor of the House, asking the House to urge INEC, as a matter of urgency, to comply with that provision. It's already there in the Constitution, but INEC has failed to comply. This is the reason why we brought it, and we felt that Nigerians should be aware of it. Yes. There's already a provision giving INEC the power to solely, it is only where there is no provision of such, then INEC can come back to us to say we should alter the Constitution to insert that INEC should review the constituencies. There's already, you can check it, you have the Constitution, Section 73, subsection 1. It's unambiguous. So for INEC to be pushing it to the, what INEC can be doing, if he wants to push to that, is to come to us by way of extra budgetary provision. If in the event that the money he has to embark on that process is insufficient, he cannot come back. But even before coming to us, he has to present it to the executive that he works with, that will now come by way of supplementary to say, okay, we're having issues. Yes, there's a provision that stipulates that after less than 10 years, that you must review. The question is, has INEC have you ever heard that INEC sat down, had a stakeholders meeting, invoke that provision in the Constitution? It has never happened. But the Constitution says 10 years. Since 1999 to, I don't want to talk about Shagari time, 1999 to date, have you heard that INEC for one day reviewed based on the provision? The answer is no. INEC, when INEC finishes and say, oh, we have gone around, we have discovered that, you know, some people have been marginalized and there is need to improve on the number, INEC will now come before the Constitutional Review Committee of both chambers to say we have finished stakeholders meeting based on the provision. And for that, we are proposing that from 360 it should now be 365, or even reduce from 360 to 250, as the case may be. But what I'm saying is, let INEC be up to their responsibility. Evoke that provision. Then come back to us to say, okay, in order for us to tinker with increasing constitutional review, please, this is our take. We need you to improve based on our interaction from stakeholders and also checking the population of Nigeria, as at the time this thing was written, we were not up to 200 million. Now we are 200 million. And the greatest thing that injustice that can happen is to deprive the people at the rural areas or at the grassroots the opportunity to be so represented close to government. And that is what we're saying. Let the people have the feelings that they are being represented. And it's only, I can't go and do INEC job. It's constitutional provision. And we're saying, please, go and evoke this provision. When you finish, then you have issue as per increase, which you raised. Come back to constitutional review. It's ongoing. If you don't do it, the constitutional review cannot on their own do that. Let them do their work and bring it to us that we are finished. And exactly. Let them do their work and bring it back to the constitutional review committee. They are open to all manners of suggestions that will make the unity of this country be sustained.